And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we have returned mid-series. It looks like our players have arrived, and we are jumping into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Colombian Zerg player, the blue Zerg, representing Platinum Esports. It is eGGz. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chilean Protoss player, the purple Protoss, representing Infernales Esports. It is Cristiano. Ronaldo. Let's go. We have our PvZ again. Looks like they did begin while we were casting Luciano versus Geralt, but at least we're able to jump into game number 2. We missed out on game 1. eGGz is leading the series, and I do favor eGGz in this series, but I want to believe in the power of Ronaldo. Ronaldinho, papi. Let's go. If you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. We will most likely be sticking with this series as the winner advances on to face off against Australia in the next round. Just as a bit of context for the greater series here. But now it's going to be Hatchcast full standard opener out of eGGz. Meanwhile, Cristiano back at home, just going for a gate expand as well. When it comes to Cristiano, again, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, has he graduated yet? I think he's either like in his final year or no. I think he has. I think he has already graduated. I believe he was working on his degree of psychology. I believe he's got his master's or maybe just bachelor's of psychology. Has already claimed that and is now playing part-time. He plays and he competes in his free time, as most players from Latin America do. Because of that, I'm not too certain as the skill level currently of Cristiano. You know, we used to cast him back in his prime a couple of years ago, especially during the COVID era of StarCraft. Nowadays, Cristiano, again, he has less time to compete, less time to play. But I want to believe that he has been able to refine himself. Can keep up. Yeah. Fond memories of Cristiano. Fond memories. Good times. As of now, it is going to be a Stargate opener from our Protoss player. It's going to be the initial Stargate. Likewise, then moving out to Scouts. With the Stargate opener, this can lead into Oracles, can lead into a Void Ray opener instead. Cristiano is usually a very meticulous player. Does have a wide array of builds available and will kind of rotate between them. Can be aggressive, can be all in at times. Does usually embrace a longer kind of game state. We'll see what he goes for. So now it is going to be that Oracle first. Oracle is on the way. Behind us, Cristiano is going to be throwing down his gateway. Just 2 gateways initially, and should then be expanding. Should be looking forward to his 3rd. Likewise, eGGz happily joining up, getting to his queen production. So far, we have soon to be 2 queens in the main, 2 queens at the natural as well. Safety spores are on the way. The spore at the 3rd base. Interesting that the spore is already on the way at the 3rd. So just really safe play here by eGGz. Being as secure as possible, does spot the Oracle. And is moving out with his links to deny and delay the 3rd base. Going to be the goal for eGGz. Oracle's diving in, Spores in position. Oracle gets gets 1 drone kill so far. It's the 1 worker. And the Lings will actually contain Cristiano. The 3rd base is quite delayed, actually. Oh, we see why. Oh my god. The Overlord won't quite confirm. He's going to be zoned away by the Stalker. But I was curious. I was like, hold up. Where exactly is the 3rd base? We should be seeing one by now. And there's a reason why we're not. There is a 2nd Stargate and a fleet beacon on the way. Cristiano, he's rushing what looks to be into either Tempest or Carrier. I would assume a Tempest rush. I would assume Tempest, but this is an interesting way to go about it. Now, usually if we're rushing into something like Tempest or Carrier, we would open up Void Ray. And the Void Ray would kill the Overlord ahead of time. The Void Ray would allow us to take a faster 3rd base as well. Because it was an Oracle opener, though, this looks a little bit more normal. this does feel a little bit more inefficient from the side of Cristiano, which makes it more difficult to scout and more difficult to kind of read as a build. And there it is, it's going to be the initial carrier. Yo, fun fact, like, as I was introducing Cristiano, I was legitimately, like, reminiscing and thinking back to, like, Sentimiento Latino, and I was thinking of eGGz versus Zions. And Zions was a Peruvian Protoss that used to rush into carrier as well, back when it was more viable, back during the Void Ray meta, and he would often get away with it and defeat players like eGGz with it as well. It was disgusting. And yeah, now Cristiano, he's doing something similar. +1 air attack. Meanwhile, we do have eGGz massing up a lot of Lings. Lings are moving out. Oracles do race back. Ooh, and eGGz, he's hoping for a surround. Doesn't quite get it. eGGz pulls away. Does get eyes on the third. And eGGz is just freely droning, taking gases, going for his lair. eGGz has the opportunity to go into Hydra production, of course, from here. Into Ling Hydra. Did skip the Roach Warren. Taking extra gases. Could go Ling Hydra. Could also go Ling into Aspire, into Muta/Corruptor. Like, that's also a viable option for eGGz. Even though he hasn't seen much, he might just naturally get into anti-air. Just because of how later this hits. He's still GM. If you're referring to Cristiano, yeah, true. I mean, yeah, he is still GM, of course. May only play in his free time, but it's still damn good. Oh! As one of the Oracles is going to get sniped. Nice pick off here by eGGz. We'll bleed out 3 drones, but only 4. Behind this, more carriers are building up. Let us go. And he's getting up to 4, soon to be 6 carriers. Oh my god, he's backing up quite a lot here. eGGz has yet to confirm. I'm a little bit concerned. We should soon be seeing an Overseer scout out of eGGz, but he just hasn't been able to make his way across the map into the main. Ling scouts are denied. eGGz is moving out, might be able to catch out these Adepts. Ling Shroud is coming in, does get a Shroud, does shut down the Adepts and the Sentry as well. Gets a probe, delays the 4th. Delays the 4th expansion. Meanwhile, that is a 3rd Stargate in production. And upon seeing how little there is on the ground and all these cannons, yeah, I'm loving the Spire. It is going to be initially Ling Hydra into the Spire. We do have the Infestation Myth for Hive Tech. So even though eGGz hasn't completely scouted, he's seen enough. Like, the lack of scouting is, or I should say, the lack of units is enough of a scout. And there we go. He does confirm the carriers is aware, spots the fleet beacon, 2nd Stargate at least. eGGz is aware. And Cristiano, he has to pull the trigger. The longer this goes on, the worse it's going to be for him when it comes to, you know, the preparation of eGGz. This build does rely a lot on the surprise factor, and yeah, the carriers now, of course, are confirmed. Soon to be 7 carriers. I mean, I say that if Cristiano doesn't move out, his goal here might just be to turtle. It might just be to just turtle up, secure himself. Yeah, the carriers they turn back around. Cristiano, he needs a 4th. Does need a 4th base, and so far he's denied time and time again. And here we go, now he's moving out. So the problem, though, is that now we have 9 Corruptors. Corruptor production has begun. Not just that, there are some Hydras and Queens to support as well on the ground. Carriers do go towards that left-hand side. Lings likewise looking for the 4th expansion. And they might be able to find it. Carriers, they're pushing deep onto creep. They're going for the natural. And here come the Corruptors, here come the Hydras. The carriers on their own, they're not going to be able to do much. Yeah, Cristiano, he's going to be shut down. We'll be leading out a 2nd carrier and a 3rd. And maybe even more than that. GG gets called. There's just far too much damage, far too many losses, and eGGz will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Again, it did feel like Cristiano, he missed his window and he missed his timing. Unfortunately, Cristiano was unable to deny the scouts either. And even though he was able to build up to, I want to say, around 6 carriers towards the end there, Alas, eGGz, he had already kind of anticipated and had already figured it out what was going on. Had the Spire, had the Hydras, had plenty of anti-air. eGGz at that point was under no real danger, which is why I assumed that that Cristiano would just, after he kind of missed his timing, he would just defend at home and just turtle up and max out that way. But alas, chose to attack instead, chose to be assertive, chose to be aggressive, and did end up being shut down. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to eGGz, as he will claim the series. And I mentioned before that the goal here was to follow the winner of the series into the next round. Up next is going to be eGGz versus